driver has been arrested after he fled a crash scene that left 20 pupils injured in Imbali in KwaZulu-Natal yesterday. Authorities say the driver, who has only a learner's license, has violated the National Land Transport Act by transporting learners without the relevant permit. The minibus taxi veered off the road and plunged a few meters down the Kwaketa Bridge yesterday morning. Some learners from 2 high schools and 1 primary school have since been discharged from hospital. The Provincial Transport Department has raised concerns over accidents involving these vehicles, as this is the 3rd to be reported within a week. Now, the South African National Taxi Council will meet with the families of the 4 children killed in last week's crash in Imbali township in KZN. The minibus taxi transporting them crashed into a creche, leaving 8 others injured. Newzroom Afrika's Phila Mthembu is tracking that story. Phila, we just go from one scholar transport accident to the next. And of course, we know that both of them are happening in the space of a week and also in one province.
Indeed, Michelle, and it gets more and more concerning, doesn't it? Especially when you take into cognizance that lives have been lost and we continue to see such incidents happening. But I'm going to bring in Santaco KZN chairperson to essentially speak to us really about today's visit and also the issues around, what is currently plaguing the taxi industry, especially when it comes to the smaller transportation. I'm going to bring in Zondo to speak to us. Thank you so much for your time. Firstly, if you could give us a sense of really what is today's visit is specifically going to be about, Mr. Zondo.
Thank you so much. Today, as the taxi industry in Santaco, Mukungundlovu, the leadership of Scholar Transport and the mainstream will be visiting the families of the deceased kids to pay respect to the families and convey our condolences to the families, but also to help them, to tell them what assistance are we going to be doing as Santaco for the families. We had a meeting on Sunday with all the chairpersons of Scholar Transport in Mkungundlovu and our service provider, Ubabusbia, who's our funeral parlor. We are now going to offer that service because Mkungundlovu on a monthly basis, Scholar Transport and mainstream contributes to Usbia on a monthly basis, so that should these kind of things happen, we are able to assist certain families. So that's what we'll be going to the families and offering the families today.
But of course, it's saddening because these are accidents which could be avoided. A preliminary report suggesting that they are as a result of unroadworthiness of these vehicles. And I am really wondering, why is Santaco taking or has taken so long to address such issues? Because you did say that it has gotten to a point now where there's going to be strict action against drivers who get behind the wheel of vehicles that are unroadworthy. Why did it have to get to a point where 4 children have been killed, when in fact it's been an issue which has been going on for quite a long time?
Well, it is not that it has taken so long. We know that we've got a unit called Hlogomela within Santaco. Hlogomela is assisting us with that. So it might be, there will always be vehicles that will be escaping when Hlogomela is doing enforcement. But on Sunday, we emphasized the point on all the chairpersons and said, they may escape Hlogomela because we've only got a certain number of Hlogomela operators who are operating throughout the region and KZN. But we said to the chairpersons, they also need to go back to their respective associations and make sure that all unroadworthy vehicles are not on the road, because we cannot afford that kids are going to lose their lives because of that reason. It can be an accident, and it needs to be a real accident. So drinking and driving, we are saying no ways. Drivers driving without licenses, no ways, and also unroadworthy vehicles.
And let us take you back to yesterday. There's an accident which happened in Imbali, 20 learners injured. The driver has been arrested. Your reaction as Santaco?
Well, we are saying we are happy with that, and we are always going to say to government, anyone that's doing things that are out of the law, they need to be arrested. So we applaud government for doing that, and we cannot be seen going against that.
And the driver has been found to be unlicensed. It brings me to my next question. What vetting process goes into ensuring that you have found the perfect person to actually execute these duties?
That's what we were discussing with the chairpersons on Sunday, that we need to have a data of all the drivers, that people that are driving our vehicles, mainstream and scholar transport, do have a driver's license. On Sunday, we were emphasizing that very same point. So that's why I'm happy that a driver has been caught and has been arrested, because he was driving, doing exactly what we are saying. These things need to stop.
And there's been numerous calls on, the functioning of such minibus taxis still being on the roads. They've been calls that they now have to be removed because most of them are actually seen to be unroadworthy. We have seen also the state, the condition of which they look. Even when they are on the road and they have certification that they should be on the road by just looking at with the naked eye, you can just see that this minibus taxi is just not roadworthy.
Well, we've been making a call to the Department of Transport nationally that all unroadworthy vehicles needs to go to scrapping. So these very same ones, we are those ones whom we've been making a call and say, government, you said you are assisting us to remove unroadworthy vehicles, but for some reason, with scholar transport, they have not been able to assist them. But we always been making a call and say, also take these which are using scholar transport, give them permits, and also remove them off the road, because there is a lot of them that are unroadworthy because of the aging of the vehicle.
So then you would say it is government that is essentially sabotaging Santaco?
I wouldn't say it's government, but we are saying they are taking too long. It's not, we'll say they are sabotaging, but they are taking too long to implement things when we have agreed with them. So if they can speed up things, throughout South Africa, Santaco have been making a call of removing all these unroadworthy vehicles. I know that because I also serve in the national office of Santaco, but government, Parliament have taken too long to remove these vehicles.
So what would you acknowledge, probably having done wrong on your side, or an area that you feel you need to improve as a Santaco? We can hear you speaking of government now, but what is it that you can take accountability for at this point?
Unroadworthy vehicles, that one we cannot shy away from. People are still drinking and driving, using our vehicles, and also the unlicensing of drivers. So those are the things that we need to make sure that we root out of our systems. But we are working on it, but we need to take accountability and say we have not done enough to remove all these things out of our system.
All right, thank you so much for your time. That was Michelle Boyzondi, who is the KZN Santaco chairperson, giving us their reaction, firstly, on that arrest, which has now happened. And now this is of the minibus driver that, plunged off a bridge, leaving 20 learners injured. We do know that an arrest has been made, and he was, in fact, found not to have been in possession of a valid driver's license. But what they're going to be doing now is that they're going to be visiting these families, to provide support, and also saying that they're going to be assisting with the funeral services which are going to be conducted, but we're going to have to wait and see really how plans around that are going to happen. And speaking on the issue of having minibus taxis now off the roads. We have seen numerous calls. Santaco saying that really it is the government that has been sluggish when it comes to assisting them in that particular regard, Michelle.
Phila Mthembu is live to us there in Imbali in KZN.